I was an acquaintance of his, and I saw the premiere at the Salvador
cultural
73
disconnect.
years ago.
Oh,
and I
absolutely.
remember it like it was yesterday.
I almost ate my nephew, Lestat.
Hey, what's going on, Syntell? Whoa, I almost knocked you out before I even did the introduction.
I was like, what
Let's do
is
that again.
happening,
Sorry.
homie?
And I was like, yeah. Okay. Let's do it again. All right, what's going on? Let's try it again.
What? Okay.
What's going on, Syntell with the Intel, and I'm here with the beautiful Mikel Claire.
Thank you.
Hey, interview with the vampire. I hope you guys got a chance to check out episode 1. We had a ton of fun,
Right.
but we did a little bit of homework before we started episode 2, and then we went back and rewatched the original 1996 movie version of it with Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, a few other names I was in there.
Yeah. Oh,
Tandy Newton,
Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now it's giving us a little bit more perspective as to the detail and the intricacies of what they're doing with some of the
well,
individual
not only
episodes.
that, and the aging of those actors as well. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that part. Well, thank you so much for seeing us. And for part 2, if you need to catch up with part 1, there'll be a link in the description. Hey, give us that thumbs up before we get started. It's how the people know you are digging what we are giving you. So, that being said, let's get started.
Marius de Romanus. Never heard of him.
Little of his work survives. Mr. de Poix-du-Lac covets the rare.
He covets the rare.
Mr. de Poix-du-Lac will join you at course 7.
Dang.
How many courses
How
are there?
many courses are there?
That roof is off the chain.
Liver or something.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Word. They are definitely actively respecting COVID right now.
Well, no, here's the thing. He's probably going to eat something bloody or something. You know what I mean? So he's got to have the...
Oh, that's interesting. That is like donated blood, probably. Okay.
It looks like some sort of...
Course 3?
It's a tart.
There he
of some
is.
sort. That must be
Dang,
course 7.
boy, the way he walks in.
It doesn't. This is session 2.
Not while we're
Louis de
eating.
Poix-du-Lac.
Not while we're
Can we
eating.
Turn down the music.
No, this is dinner.
Oh, that's funny. I thought that was the score.
Your body is confused. Your lungs feel like water. Your heart fire. You feel as if you're dying. Because you are.
Dang. Get to feel death and then probably rebirth again, right?
Oh, gosh. Wow.
Glad he caught him before he did that.
Look how strong he is.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just like, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, Louis going through it right now.
Yeah, he don't eat. Lestat's like, this is what it is.
And he just breaking up bones and Louis wailing in the background. It's a lot going on and nobody hears and sees none of this.
It is the cemetery in the middle of the night.
Yeah, it is like the 1800s too.
He's like, it's almost like a high, right?
Oh, I bet. Careful riding that dragon.
Right?
The secrets of existence
Wow.
You're fucking loaded.
beyond articulation.
Can you imagine heightened senses like that?
Hints of iron, rather plain otherwise. A pair of oak-aged Cabernet. Thick-skinned and chewy.
Thick-skinned and chewy.
I love the way that he...
Here you go. I was
Yeah, I
a
was about
baby
to say.
bird in Lestat's nest, not yet ready to hunt, but desperate to feed.
He's eating it like soup.
Right?
And you're just missing the pinky.
out west, and
I gotta tell you, I'm doing pretty good for myself.
He's so bored.
Century, new job, so I'm actually entertaining the thought of getting.
It's like having a bacon egg sandwich, just blah, 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 and you starving.
Bacon egg.
Tell her this is the nature of things. Someone has to hew the hose, someone has to harvest, harrow, to till it. You gentlemen down here, now what do you throw?
You know, the way he's looking at him.
Right? Look at him. He's like, what?
Equipment, am I right?
Right? Not no,
Streamline
Menage.
tractor.
Menage.
Not only gonna increase your harvest, it's gonna keep your child from tears.
You don't see the blood? Look, like, there we go.
Yeah.
It's like, yo.
I knew it! I knew it!
Oh, snap. Oh, Louis.
Louis, you need some grace, my guy.
Right? Oh, he doesn't know about the sun? Dang. Get an umbrella. Cover yourself. You heard the dude? He said, what the hell?
Oh, yes. Perfect setting for a vampire home.
Dang. He got all the gadgets,
Vampire
don't he?
romance.
He has bad wallpaper though.
But back then, that wallpaper was lit.
It's fire.
Yo, look at the coffin. It's nice.
But equal in the quiet dark.
I'm kind of glad that he kind of
Provocation.
addressed that, though.
Is this the primary tool one walks away with after downloading your internet class?
He's like, I got jokes too, homie.
Ooh, I can only imagine what's under his.
Oh.
There's something moving. It is like a little fox or something.
Yeah.
That would make me
Look at
lose.
the way,
my,
look the eye contact
that would
while
make
he's
me
doing
lose
it.
my appetite right
Oh,
there.
yeah, absolutely. He's like, make no mistake of what I am. I need you to get this. Yes.
Vampires can read minds, mon cher.
Right. And you gonna sit on that skill for how long? You gonna make me beg?
In due time, young man.
Right?
I'm gonna ditch this town and be somebody.
That's not.
I'll give it a moment.
Or I'll just go home.
You see my alligator, man? See my lost it by the punch bowl.
Oh, been too long.
Oh, her heartbeat. Her heartbeat, though. I don't know if that was good or bad.
Careful. I
Right?
know.
You hide from me this long again, I'll hunt you down and slap you sideways.
I wonder who's older. Is she the... He's older, right? Yeah, he's the oldest.
I know some of the finishes seem penny heavy, but it's the Ultimate's name going out there. So every detail has to shout exclusivity.
He's got one more.
and industrious, huh?
Yeah, I was about... Oh, no. I was like, he got one more
I know.
time.
It's
Yep.
just...
Yep.
And unfortunate, the man picked that night to dabble in fuckery. Would have been the next one.
About to bleed this man.
Wait, he dabbled in fuckery.
Va te faire foutre aussi!
It is a parent-child relationship, though. I mean, I know that is a very real part of it. Dang, look at the cold black coffin.
Here?
Well, I do not see the clause in this paperwork wherein I continue to eat, drink, and fornicate on the house.
He's been around, but...
They may address it. I don't know. Can you imagine what that baby must smell like in a food capacity?
Okay, there's the husband.
Okay, let me just see what the heck's going on.
Please give that baby back to your sister. Please. I could feel the stress.
I would take the baby upstairs to his dad or something, because I wouldn't hold that baby.
No, I'm sure you're right. Hello, Damek.
Hey.
Oh. The way he slapped it first. The way he slapped it first. He can't even eat his steak.
Thank you, Damek. See you soon.
He said, see you soon.
I was an acquaintance of his, and I saw the premiere at the Salvador
It's the cultural
73 years
disconnect.
ago,
Oh,
and I
absolutely.
remember it like it was yesterday.
I almost stayed my nephew, Lestat.
I've been
Can't
neglectful
resist.
of our romance.
You can't resist.
The steadfast pupil deserves a divine reward.
But you know what I'm glad that they cleared up is that he can't read his mind. It has to be
Yeah.
a legitimate kind of thing.
I performed as his valet. Walked a pace behind him. Took his overcoat once we found our seat.
Oh, that's got to be just infuriating when you're powerful.
I never bought. How many of us are out there?
He's like, that's all good and everything. He's like, but let me ask you some more questions.
Maybe 100. 101.
Oh. Let me give you this pinky little feel right here.
Guillotine and Lestat leapt to his feet in mock appreciation.
Right?
Which could mean only one thing.
Oh, yeah,
Dinner
he's going
is
to get it.
served.
He's about to
The
catch it.
hunt was on.
The overture is in my room.
Pretending to be. Afraid to disappoint.
That is just, this the sounds for me.
It is, and it's a twisted intimacy. That's interesting, especially with the art. I can't get over how dope the ceilings
The
are.
table too. Look at that table.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Huh. Oh my gosh, I was still all in.
That went quickly.
Okay, so let me just go off just off the top of my head.
Okay.
So, like I said in the beginning, and for those watching, we just got done watching like the movie, right?
Yes.
And the movie is like watching like cliff notes of everything regarding the book. It's just really fast.
Okay.
And there's not a whole lot of moments where it's like solid connection between the characters and their involvement with each other. But this relationship that Louis has with Lestat is brilliantly done, and the complexities that are involved with it, especially in Louis, more so than anything else, because he's dealing with being a vampire, he's dealing with being gay, he's dealing with being black in a time period where all of those will get you killed. All of those are disempowering. And he's with somebody he's under the tutelage of somebody who knows their power, who does what they want, how they want, and on their own terms. And that conflict between knowing that you're powerful now, having somebody that's powerful as your instructor, and living in a space where everything about you is despised, is such an interesting dichotomy with his relationship with the city, the relationship with himself, and the relationship with Lestat.
Well, the thing that's slightly confusing to me is that he's very aware of all of these things, talking about Louis, but still doesn't want to run away, still wants to interact with his family, still wants to have this business.
Right.
He doesn't want to go to Paris or wherever they had said they were going to go. So that part's a little confusing to me, because I'm like, what is it about this torment that you still want to stay in it?
Right.
You know what I mean? Rather than...
Well, let's use the example, and this is just for the example. I'm not trying to trigger anybody. Let's use the example of an abusive relationship, right?
Okay.
And there are some people that are in abusive relationships. They know that they're in an abusive relationship, and for whatever reason that they hold true, they cannot leave. You know, I think Louis is in that space with his relationship with the city.
Okay.
Relationship with potentially his family, because his mother is a perfect example of that bit of abuse, and the abuse of having to kind of like let go. You're clinging on to that, even though it hurts. You know, that's the only thing that I can kind of like think of, is that he's not strong enough to leave it behind.
Okay. I could kind of see that a little bit.
What are your initial thoughts?
One of the things that I still am absolutely obsessed with this version of it is the fact that Louis is a person of color.
Yes.
And they don't shy away from all the nuances of that within the story. And that to me is brilliant.
Yes. And it's such a dichotomy compared to the movie, because Louis was
he was a
plantation
slave owner.
owner.
Slave owner, plantation owner.
Yeah.
And he already had that like high society type of situation, and he didn't have any issue with his race.
Right.
So I find that fascinating, and I love that they added that to the layers of this.
Yes.
Because it adds so much more to the story for me.
Yes. There's the main through line between the relationship with Louis and Lestat, and that is teacher pupil, and the frustration of you have to raise this grown man and they're childlike. You know, but still, you know, for those of you who are parents, you know, even though that childlike person that you're in charge of protecting, you love them completely. And I believe Lestat when he loves Louis completely.
I do too.
You know, but it's still like you are still just this dumb young vampire who's doing these dumb young things. But then how do you love and teach and coach somebody when they're dealing with things that you don't really have a true understanding for, which is blackness? That's like a really big part of it. The other thing is dealing with your sexuality, because for I think Lestat, it's not an issue for him. He just does what he wants without any really comparable.
Yeah, and he even said that. Yeah,
he's like, no, this is just who I am.
Yeah, this is what it is.
Yeah, but for Louis like, no, that don't really work in this space, in the culture that I'm currently in. So how do you coach and teach somebody with such heavy things that they have to try to like overcome?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I think the big thing is, and I could feel Louis' frustration of when they went to the show.
The opera.
Yeah, the opera, and having to take a step back and having to like, you have to do all of this just to exist in that same space. But Louis, I don't think Louis gets it. Not Louis, excuse me. I don't think Lestat gets it, you know? And I don't even think he properly addressed it, but how could he,
Well, and the thing that I think too with him, and we have to remember, like, he's so far removed from humanity that he doesn't have any left.
That's very true.
So
That's very,
we
very
don't
true.
know where he was, before he was turned and all of this. Like, we don't know how he was in his humanity, in his skin, as as someone without all of this power and this innate ability to just be so aware of all things, right? So I think because Louis still has a part of his humanity, it's probably infuriating because he's like, I don't remember any of this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Why are you not where I am? So I guess the learning curve isn't as curved as as Lestat kind of views it.
And we really see that really in clear as day when he's like, I almost ate my nephew, my niece.
Yeah, nephew.
Yeah. He's like, and Louis like, whatever.
He's like, let's go to the opera.
Let's go to the opera.
I got clothes. Let's go on a vacay.
Yeah, for those of you who may not understand the plight of what it means to be homosexual or whatever your sexuality is going to be, or the plight of being black, you can understand the plight of loving a relative, right? So regardless of whatever it is that Louis is going through from the viewer's standpoint, if you are not, privy to that, you can understand, I love this person that's a part of my family, and you can understand, you can see clear as day the indifference that Lestat has. So that humanity that you were speaking on is really clear as day.
Yeah, his is gone. I mean, and rightfully so. He's been a vampire for, centuries, I'm assuming. So it's just, he's just far removed. And for him, all he knows is what his instincts are, what he's instinctually made to do in his life. And he's, he said he's godlike in terms of being able to judge, to choose who he takes as a victim and just all kinds of things. So he's just fascinating. And Louis loves him, like adores. They're like almost like soulmates, a part of and they are a part of each other. And so it's fascinating to me to watch that too, because I know you had even said when they were feeding on the opera singer guy, you were like, "Wow, that's a type of it's an interesting type of intimacy." Yeah, but it's very, very intimate. You know what I mean? And it's fascinating.
Yeah, it's fascinating and disturbing.
Yeah,
and like then there's a part of you that's kind of like and then there's a part that's like ugh.
Yeah,
it's a lot of that, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you about, so there was a bit of a breakthrough regarding the story element, and that is the interviewer, the guy, had a moment where it wasn't about the story and it wasn't about Louis. He took a moment to reflect on something that was important to him in his life. How did you feel about that?
I thought it was interesting because, he's all about the story. This is why I'm here, and he's very sarcastic in a lot of the things that in his response to a lot of the things that Louis is talking about. And he's like, did you eat the baby? You know what I mean? He's like, he's like, I don't care about this, that you just ate that. Did you just ate that fox? Right. Let's talk about the fact that, did you eat the baby? And I was just like, okay, he's all about the story. So then when he did that, whenever he closes the computer, I feel like it's his humanity. Right. But then part of me just now, as I'm saying this, I wonder if Louis has put some sort of, hoodoo voodoo.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. And I don't know. So with the specific special dessert and all of that, what was his purpose for that?
So we started off knowing that it's going to be a 7-course meal. Okay, 7 is a very important number in a lot of different ways, especially it deals with like religion and stuff. And so there is that. And with each course, I feel like there's some symbolization that we may or may not be missing.
Absolutely.
There is a hypocrisy regarding the distaste that the interviewer has for Louis with the meals that he's eating, but yet he's eating the flesh of a cow, right?
Yeah.
I saw a steak, right?
Yeah, and he ate some duck. Some rabbit. So he had rabbit.
Right, so they're both eating. That's the thing, and it's just which is to be food, which is good food, or which is bad food regarding like how you feel about it. And so I think that's really important. There were some artistic approaches going along too with the inside of this beautiful set. I saw like two two pictures. I can't really.
Yeah, paintings.
Yeah, two paintings. The table, the wood, like the decadence that's involved is just. I think it plays into the story as well. I'm sure. I'm posing these questions because I'm looking to you all, the viewers, to kind of like maybe give some insight.
Yeah, well, I want to go back to what you said about the courses as they came.
Yeah.
Because as you see, Louis, first of all, he comes out on the 7th.
You're right.
And I'm like, what? Everybody's like, what's the significance? Even the writer was like, what's the significance of him coming? Like, how many courses are there?
Right.
Yeah. So initially, he had the actual from the looked like from a hospital bag or whatever, like they cut it and poured it into a nice, and he was eating it like soup, which was interesting to me.
Yeah, right.
Then you bring out the clothed, not clothed? I forget what you call the thing that you put on top of the plate to keep it warm. I can't think of the name of it.
I know what you're talking about.
So you have that, and then you see his moving around, and you take it off, and there's this little fox, and he literally picks it up. It's like, it is a full conversation. I'm still looking at you, but we going, I'm making eye contact with you, but I'm gonna eat this right here, have it on, and then I laugh because he only got a little bit off his chin. He still had a little bit on his chin. And then we progress to the man that comes in, and he's like,
oh yeah,
and he has a full conversation. He's like, I suggest that you go to the and I was like, are you not disturbed by this?
Yes.
And then, as a vegan, I'm looking at him cutting up his steak and cutting up his rabbit, and I'm like, okay, I see where you're going a little bit, but I'm sure there's more to it, like you said, than what I got from it.
Right. I thought it was interesting how, like, one of the things that Louis was eating on this table of decadence was a predator.
Oh, yeah.
A fox is a predator, and most times we don't really eat predators. Cows, ducks, chickens, pigs and stuff like that. So it's weird to see a predator on somebody's plate, but to Louis, it's all. He said it a couple of times. I am the apex.
He is
of predators.
He is.
You know? So all of this is food.
Yeah. And he even asked the question while the writer was cutting the rabbit. He asked something about it, and I can't remember what he said, but it was very poignant at the time. But he asked him specifically something about, do you think about whatever before you cut your rabbit? Because, he was like, rabbit 3 ways. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just interesting because everybody's perspective is going to be different based off of, who you are, obviously.
We were given another really interesting clue. And he hinted to it in the very beginning, and that is the fact of there is something else going on in the world with the vampire nation. Conversion, right? And he had hinted to the fact that there's somebody, I think it was like Madagascar, maybe.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Okay.
Yep.
Who's like, this thing's about to go down, and all of these events are happening in a space that for the big jump off. And it sounds to me that maybe Louis is trying to do something to at least warn the people before the craziness gets there, before it happens. And I thought something else that was really fascinating is that he can hear other vampires and what's going on thousands of miles away.
Yeah, well, I think it's one of those things where, remember, initially he was honing in on the heartbeat and the lungs, and then he was like Lestat told him, he was like, his thoughts is just another function like that, right? I don't remember the terminology he used, but so I imagine that same heightened awareness and ability to hear the thoughts and everything translates for far distances, like that. So I think that's super fascinating that they can hear each other.
For those who have never seen the movie and or read the book, I'm sure you all may be asking that question. They're like, well, where is Lestat during all of this? And they're just doing a really good job of building this relationship. We've already heard Lestat say, there's probably nothing worse than being alone,
isolation,
in the never-ending futures of immortality. So it feels to me like this is going to be such an amazing setup as to why Louis is by himself.
That we know of, yeah.
And I have one more real small thing, and then we're done. And that is his assistant that came in.
Oh yeah, like the manner of the house, the guy of the house, or whatever, the house manager. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
And I'm wondering like what that relationship is with Louis.
Because he was like, "Yo, don't be questioning me." Yeah. He was like, "Just sit down and eat your dinner." Yeah. Louis will be here when I.
Yeah.
he was like, "Why are you questioning me, homie? I got on the black gloves at the house." No, I'm kidding. Okay.
I know we didn't hit on everything.
There's so much. I love this show though. I love it.
By all means, please let us know what we got right, what we got wrong. And then just what your insights are regarding where we are in the show as well. But please be nice in the comments, as we always say.
I love the show. I can't lie. It's intriguing. Can I say one more thing and then I'm done? Sam Reed.
Yeah.
You're acting, sir.
Yes.
You're acting, sir. And Jacob Anderson.
Yeah. Yes.
Hat tip. I'm so excited for the next episode just because your acting alone carries this entire show for me. Okay.
Big facts.
Okay.
All right. Y'all killing it. All right. With that being said, please check out Mikel Claire's page.
Snooty Vegans, Lock Lifestyle, Vegan Lifestyle, Life as You Know It. Link in the description. Snooty Vegans.
Yeah, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? You see how we just like to just chop it up and talk about movies? Our conversations are just normally like this. So if you want to join the fun, please hit that subscription button. And of course, give us those thumbs up because that's how the people know you're digging what we're giving you. So with that being said, we will catch you on episode 3.